He knocked out 3 all-time greats.
Holloway.
Yeah, Holloway, Alexander, Volkanovski, who's like one of the greatest featherweights of all time, knocked him out. Knocked out Max Holloway, another one of the greatest featherweights of all time.
Right.
And then Charles Oliveira, one of the greatest lightweights of all time.
Amazing.
He knocks out 3 guys in 3 fights. There's no one has a resume like that.
And he's not like, as I understand, he was a Greco-Roman guy.
He has the touch of death. It is that simple. Joe Rogan looked directly into the camera, visibly shaken by what he just witnessed in the training footage of Ilia Topuria. This is not just another fighter climbing the ranks. This is a wrecking ball that has already dismantled 3 of the greatest legends to ever step into the octagon. Rogan admitted he does not like this matchup for Justin Gaethje, and for a man who has seen everything in combat sports, that kind of concern carries immense weight. The savage nature of Topuria's preparation has sent shockwaves through the MMA community, making everyone wonder if we are about to witness the end of an era for the BMF champion.
Philly shell. Is that a Philly shell, what he does with one arm down?
It's a little bit of that. Well, he has amazing defense. It's just amazing awareness and pattern recognition, technique. He's a combination of all things, right? Incredible confidence, incredible intelligence, insane discipline, work ethic, but just great training methods. Like, he does everything right. And then insane confidence. Like, his confidence is insane. When he fought Charles Oliveira for the lightweight title,
the resume alone is enough to make any sane fighter reconsider their career choices. In just 3 fights, Topuria has flatlined Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski, and Charles Oliveira. Think about that for a second. These are not just contenders. They are the pillars of the featherweight and lightweight divisions. Rogan pointed out that no one in the history of the sport has a resume quite like this right now. It is a terrifying run of dominance that defies logic. When you knock out 3 all-time greats in a row, you are not just lucky. You are a different species of predator entirely. Rogan describes him as uncommon amongst uncommon men, a freakish talent that the world is only beginning to understand. What makes Topuria truly terrifying is the way he has evolved from his roots. He started as a Greco-Roman specialist, a grinder who could take anyone down and hold them there. But then he became a master boxer. Rogan is obsessed with Topuria's defense, noting that he uses a variation of the Philly shell that makes him nearly impossible to hit cleanly. His pattern recognition and technical awareness are at a level that most fighters never reach in a lifetime. He is a complete martial artist who does everything right, from his disciplined training methods to his insane work ethic. This combination of world-class grappling and elite-level striking is exactly why Rogan is sounding the alarm for Justin Gaethje.
but he's crazy talented.
For sure.
In
For
a
sure.
weird way.
Whatever it is, he has it. He has it.
He's got it in his mind. He's got it in his technique. His grappling's fun. I watched a video of him grappling with Merab, and he was all over Merab.
And
that's crazy.
That's what they say. His grappling's just as good, if not better, than his stand-up.
That's where he started.
I've
He
never
started
seen
as a
it.
grappler.
I've never seen him grapple, though.
Well, he finished Bryce Mitchell on the ground, and he's finished a few people on the ground. He does clearly have phenomenal submission ability.
The level of confidence radiating from Topuria is borderline delusional, yet he backs it up every single time. Rogan shared a story that sounds like something out of a movie. Before his title fight against Charles Oliveira, Topuria actually threw a massive victory party the night before the event. He was so certain of the outcome that he celebrated before the first punch was even thrown. He told everyone he would knock Charles out in the first round, and then he went out and did exactly that with a single punch. That kind of mental warfare is unheard of at this level of the sport. It is one thing to be confident, but it is another thing entirely to behave like the victory is already written in the stars.
In the fight, but he also didn't look phenomenal.
I enjoyed the fight. You know, as far as technique, it was more of like kind of a bar type fight, but I mean, Gaethje dropped him like so many times, man. It was crazy.
And
I enjoyed watching that fight. That was really good.
I think Ilia does Gaethje even worse, you know.
And dude, honestly, that's pretty fucking scary.
He doesn't even
I don't I don't think
he doesn't. They're in another level.
Yeah,
I've trained with Ilia plenty since like his first UFC fight. I was calling it back then. This guy's gonna be champ. I'm telling you, he's gonna beat the fucking brakes. He retires Homer Simpson that day in the fucking cage. He'll never come back into fighting that dude.
Fuck. I mean,
bro, Homer Simpson's gonna fucking. He's not walking that out when alive.
While most fighters are cutting weight and suffering in silence, Topuria is reportedly drinking wine during his weigh-ins. Rogan noted that while he might be drinking water the night before, his overall approach to the weight cut is unlike anything we have seen. He is calm, he is composed, and he is enjoying the process while his opponents are in survival mode. This psychological edge is a massive part of why he is so dangerous. He is not just fighting his opponent, he is showing them that their presence in the cage is merely a formality. When you see a man smiling and drinking wine while you are starving and dehydrated, it does something to your spirit before the fight even begins.
And one of the things too, I think Ilia, if he didn't take the Justin fight, it might be got vacated, and Justin fought with Arman Sarukian too. It was a lot of conversation, and it's happened in the middle of the night, and a lot of people put work into this. You know, on my part, I was ready. My guys was ready to fight. It was good to go. Justin Gaethje took me 5 minutes to make a deal for him. It didn't take hours. It didn't take all night. It didn't take this. It didn't take this. It was easy, you know, and that's it. Justin Gaethje, he was in UFC 300. Ilia was not. Justin Gaethje was on the UFC launch, Paramount Network. Ilia was not. Justin Gaethje is the main event in the White House. And the only reason Ilia is on the White House, because Justin Gaethje is fighting.
The training footage coming out of Topuria's camp is what really has Rogan on edge. He is focusing heavily on specific strength training, including intense bicep workouts designed to maximize his pulling power and overall explosiveness. At only 5'7", Topuria is not a large man, but Rogan warns that his frame is deceptive. He puts people into the shadow realm with ease because his technique and accuracy are flawless. Rogan stood next to him during a podcast and realized just how much smaller Topuria is than him, yet the power he generates is world-ending. It is not about size, it is about the mechanics of the kill, and Topuria has mastered the art of the one-shot finish.
So he has a coming up fight, and now he said, yeah, if UFC tell me fight Arman, I'll take it. But he has a fight coming up. I'm a backup for that fight. I'm going to be ready if something happens, and I'm going to stay active.
Topuria has already issued a chilling warning to Justin Gaethje ahead of their massive showdown at the White House. He told Justin that he is not someone who seeks to humiliate people, but he promised the fight would be quick. His exact words were that when Justin wakes up, everything will already be over. This is not just trash talk, it is a calculated prediction from a man who has fulfilled every promise he has ever made in the cage. He views Gaethje as a legendary warrior, but also as a man who is standing in the way of his destiny. The speed at which Topuria expects to end this fight is what has the analysts worried about Gaethje's long-term health in the sport.
It has to be you next. If it's not you next, then we have a massive problem.
Me?
It has to be you, Arman. Come on.
Problem gonna have my fans with UFC. Me, I'll stay out of the problem.
There's no one else. It's one of the biggest fights the UFC can do. You versus Ilia, if he wins, and I think he's gonna win. It's a gigantic fight.
Yeah, can imagine me versus Ilia on the White House. Everybody gonna talk about that fight.
White House, no White House.
Yeah.
Who cares? Put it anywhere. Put it in Madrid.
Yeah, great fight because we are both on young and on our prime, and like 50% gonna think I'm gonna win, 50%
Oh my God.
Ilia gonna win, and it's gonna be like a massive fight.
We're all chomping at the bit to see you fight for the UFC world title. When do you reckon you're gonna enter back in the octagon?
This summer.
This summer
I'll fight. It's for sure this summer for the belt, any belt.
Any belt.
It's a BMF, it's a real belt, so.
Justin Gaethje is famously hard to count out, and Rogan acknowledged that the man is a total animal. However, the stylistic matchup here is a nightmare. Gaethje is known for his durability and his willingness to go through hell to get a win, but Topuria's precision might bypass that durability entirely. Rogan expressed deep concern, stating plainly that he does not like this fight for Justin. He fears that Gaethje's style of absorbing damage to give damage will play right into Topuria's hands. If Topuria lands that touch of death, all the heart and grit in the world won't matter. It is a clash between a relentless force and a surgical striker who only needs one mistake to end the night.
La primera pregunta que te tengo que hacer es, ¿crees que vas a ser tú el siguiente para enfrentar a Islam Makhachev?
Si Dios lo permite, sí, estamos buscando esa pelea con él. Ya nos pusieron un par excusas por ahí para no pelear, pero yo estoy dispuesto 100%. Si me dicen que aquí a mañana tengo la pelea por el título, lo voy a aceptar. Y si me dicen que no, pues esperaré mi momento. Pero ahorita estoy enfocado en eso, en buscar la pelea con el título.
¿Y cómo te imaginas en tu cabeza una pelea contra Islam Makhachev?
No, dándolo todo. Y pues no voy a quitarle mérito a mi rival, porque ya lo considero un rival, Islam.
Even the grappling community is starting to fear Topuria after seeing him on the mats. Rogan mentioned watching a video of Topuria grappling with the elite Merab Davalishvili, and the results were shocking. Topuria was reportedly all over him, showcasing a level of submission prowess that many fans haven't even seen yet because he's too busy knocking people unconscious. He finished Bryce Mitchell on the ground, proving that he can end the fight anywhere it goes. This dual threat capability is what makes him a statistical anomaly in the UFC. You can't just try to take him down to escape the power, because his ground game is just as lethal as his stand-up.
So sometimes I just throw my hands up and wonder what exactly is the internal promotional metric or the driving force that would give Ian Machado Gary this title shot as opposed to, say, Michael Morales? Is it a matchup thing? Do they maybe make more money if one guy's the champion? I don't exactly know the extent to which Ian Machado Gary moves needles versus Michael Morales. But I think straight meritocracy based on the body of work, despite the Ecuadorian Morales' undefeated record and the wildly sensational win over Sean Brady, I think based upon the body of work for Machado Gary, his willingness to step up all the time, even in the protest main event in Kansas City, I just feel like Makhachev versus Machado Gary is the fight. And I think it's a fascinating stylistic matchup as well. I think Morales eventually is going to get there. Looks like an absolute world beater. But depending on what sort of their internal methodology is, I think Machado Gary is going to be the guy, and I think he's the most deserved.
Jorge Masvidal is also weighing in on this matchup, and his take is even more brutal than Rogan's. Masvidal believes that Topuria is going to do Justin Gaethje even worse than his previous opponents. He went as far as to say that Topuria might actually retire Justin, comparing the BMF champ to Homer Simpson at the end of a fight. Masvidal argues that there are levels to this game, and Topuria has moved into a stratosphere that the rest of the division simply cannot reach. He predicts a one-sided beatdown that will leave Gaethje mentally and physically drained. It is a dark prediction for one of the most beloved fighters in the sport, but many insiders are starting to agree.
I don't think that there is an exciting fight out there for Islam. Which, by the way, when I say I felt like a jerk about it, it wasn't to insult. Islam is great. I fully get Islam's greatness. I'm saying I don't think there's an exciting fight. I think Islam has gotten to that level of greatness where it's hard to think that somebody can deal with that. And if you can't make believe that somebody can deal with that, you cannot be excited for the fight.
Justin Gaethje, however, is not bothered by the noise. When asked if he had a message for Topuria, his response was cold and dismissive. He said he does not give a DM and refuses to give Topuria the time of day. Gaethje is focusing entirely on his own emotions and the game plan his coaches are instilling in him. He admitted that he doesn't even watch tape on his opponents, choosing instead to trust his team to guide him through the fire. This stoic approach has served him well in the past, but the question remains whether it will be enough to counter the modern data-driven violence that Topuria brings to the cage. Gaethje is ready for war, but Topuria is looking for a quick execution.
Ilia Topuria has been focusing on bicep workouts to boost his overall strength and enhance his training regimen.
The politics behind this fight are just as intense as the training. Ali Abdelaziz revealed that this deal was made in less than 5 minutes. Initially, Gaethje was supposed to face Arman Sarukian, but the White House card needed a massive main event, and Topuria was the only one who could fill those shoes. Abdelaziz made it clear that Topuria is only on this card because Gaethje was already scheduled to fight. This adds a layer of disrespect to the buildup, as Topuria is being positioned as the star while Gaethje is being treated as the veteran gatekeeper. It is a dangerous narrative that might provide Gaethje with the extra motivation he needs to pull off the upset.
Arman Tsarukyan further confirmed he's prepared to step in if anything disrupts the Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje clash, and he will be available as a backup fighter.
Arman Tsarukyan is currently waiting in the wings as the official backup for this fight. He is ready to step in if anything happens to either fighter, but his eyes are also on the bigger picture. Arman believes that a fight between him and Topuria would be one of the biggest events the UFC could possibly put on. He thinks the fans would be split 50-50 on who would win, because both athletes are in their physical prime. Arman is even encouraging Topuria to move up in weight to challenge Islam Makhachev for a third belt. The ambition in this younger generation of fighters is staggering, and they are all looking at Topuria as the ultimate prize and the ultimate threat.
Ilia Topuria often credits his 14-year-old self for the success he enjoys today. He believes that the choices and mindset he developed as a teenager laid the foundation for the monster he has become. He admitted that he used to suffer and worry more than necessary, but now he trusts the journey completely. This perspective gives him a level of calm that is terrifying to witness. He isn't just fighting for a belt, he is fulfilling a vision that has been over a decade in the making. When a fighter has that kind of deep-rooted purpose, they become nearly impossible to break. He isn't just training for Gaethje, he is training to cement a legacy that will last forever. The ripple effect of Topuria's rise is being felt all the way up to the pound-for-pound king Islam Makhachev. Islam has been watching the developments closely, even reacting to photos of Topuria with other contenders. There is a growing sense that these two are on a collision course. While Topuria is focused on Gaethje, the rest of the world is already imagining what a fight between him and Islam would look like. Some analysts, like Chael Sonnen, argue that Islam has reached such a level of greatness that it is hard to get excited for his fights because he seems unbeatable. But Topuria is the one name that keeps coming up as the man who could actually challenge that dominance. Meanwhile, other contenders like Michael Morales are making their intentions known. Morales acknowledges Islam's legendary status, but says he is driven by his own hunger to claim the throne. He is tired of the excuses that have delayed his opportunities and is ready to prove he belongs at the top. This adds more pressure to the lightweight and welterweight divisions, as a new wave of hungry, violent athletes is ready to tear down the established order. The landscape of the UFC is shifting rapidly, and Topuria is the lightning rod for all of this change. Every fighter in the top 10 is watching his move against Gaethje with bated breath. There is also no love lost between the new contenders and the established stars. Michael Morales recently went on the record stating his pure hatred for Ian Garry. He claimed that the vibe Garry puts out is entirely wrong and that he would fight him in a way that is far more aggressive than anything he has shown before. This kind of raw, personal animosity is becoming more common as the stakes get higher. While Topuria and Gaethje prepare for their tactical war, the surrounding divisions are boiling over with grudges and call-outs. The sport is entering a hyper-competitive era where being a great fighter isn't enough, you have to be a shark. John Anik has weighed in on the chaos, suggesting that Ian Garry might actually be the most deserving contender for a shot at Islam Makhachev. Despite the undefeated record of Michael Morales and his sensational wins, Anik believes Garry's willingness to step up in any situation makes him the clear choice. He sees the stylistic matchup between Garry and Islam as fascinating, though many others disagree. This debate highlights the internal struggle within the UFC's matchmaking process. Do they reward the most active fighter, or do they wait for the most dangerous one? Either way, the shadow of Topuria's performance hangs over every potential title fight.
John Brady is one of the skeptics when it comes to Ian Garry's chances against the elite. He predicts that if Garry ever steps into the cage with Islam Makhachev, he will be dominated on the ground and submitted quickly. Brady pointed out moments in Garry's past fights where he was put in awkward grappling positions by lesser opponents. Against someone with Islam's world-class skill set, those small mistakes would turn into a very long and painful night. This skepticism is common among the veterans who have felt the pressure of elite grappling, and it serves as a reminder of just how difficult it is to reach the pinnacle where Topuria and Islam currently sit.
Chael Sonnen's perspective is perhaps the most cynical. He believes that the level of greatness Islam has reached actually makes his fights less exciting because the outcome feels predetermined. If the fans can't believe that an opponent has a real chance to win, the excitement vanishes. This is the exact problem Topuria is solving. He is the first fighter in a long time who makes people truly believe that anything is possible. Whether he is knocking out legends or out-grappling specialists, he brings an element of danger and unpredictability that has been missing. He isn't just a champion, he is a disruptor who is forcing everyone to reevaluate what is possible. As the countdown to the Gaethje fight continues, the intensity only grows. Topuria is not just training his body, he is preparing to change the trajectory of the UFC forever. Rogan's freakout isn't just about one training session. It's about the realization that we are looking at a once-in-a-generation talent who is completely fearless. Justin Gaethje has survived wars before, but he has never faced a man who treats a world title fight like a predestined victory party. The tactical battle will be high level, but the psychological warfare has already been won by the man they call El Matador. The world will be watching when they finally step into the cage at the White House. Will Gaethje's legendary grit be enough to weather the storm? Or will Topuria's touch of death claim another victim? The stakes couldn't be higher, as the winner will likely move on to a super fight that could define the next decade of MMA. Topuria has promised it will be quick, and if his past is any indication, we should probably believe him. The Shadow Realm is waiting, and Joe Rogan might just be right to be worried. The era of the Matador is here, and it looks like it's going to be a violent reign. Ultimately, combat sports are defined by these moments where a new star threatens to eclipse the sun. Topuria represents a blend of old-school toughness and modern technical perfection that is rare to see. Whether you love him or hate him, you cannot deny the impact he has had in such a short time. He has turned the featherweight and lightweight divisions upside down, leaving even the most seasoned experts like Joe Rogan in a state of shock. As the lights go up and the cage door closes, only one thing is certain: someone is going to sleep, and the landscape of the UFC will never be the same again.